Pittsburgh Sports Line at Sips Sports Bar, 3024 West Liberty Avenue, 15216. We got a great crowd here on a nice, cold, chilly night. It's not even winter yet. There's a chance of snow, 1 to 3 inches. They'll probably be wrong. It'll be sunny. Thanks for everybody watching the show on Verizon 32, Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park, and Pittsburgh Sports Line on Facebook. We're now at a new record, 1,997 likes. So thank you for everybody and all the likes. We really appreciate it. And we do a thing, we pass the like on. If you like us first, I guarantee I'll like everything you have, within reason. So thanks a lot. I want to thank Sips Sports Bar for having us. I won't talk about the chef, Pete, but he does have some real nice jalapeno cheese dip. Thank you very much, Pete. And I'll let Smokin' Jim do his normal thing with the people that work here, but we appreciate all the help and all the great food here. And now I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. Smokin' Jim Frazier's here, Chip the Prophet Hayner, and we start the beginning of our show with what's on our mind, and we're going to do that right now. Hey, Chip the Prophet Hayner, what's on your mind?
Thank you, Alan. What's on my mind? We got 2 new champions in Western Pennsylvania. State championship for the Cardinal World North Catholic, who won the championship in quite stunning fashion last Friday, where they went for 2. Instead of trying to tie the game, they went for 2 in overtime and won the game and the championship. So hats off to them. South Fayette won their first state title. They not only won their first state title, they shut out their opposition. And Brett Bumbaugh set a new record for passing yards in a season for Scholastic seniors. So congratulations to them. And, you know, just wondering about who is this in the ice and the black jerseys? I was looking at the Penguins' injury list today, and there's more All-Stars on the injured reserve list than there are playing hockey. And I think the only person that I recognize on the ice right now is Sid Crosby. But you know, the amazing thing is we've lost 5 of our starting defensemen from the beginning of the season, and all the Penguins do is they keep winning games, and they still don't get any respect because they're getting elected as like the number 6th or 7th ranked team in the NHL. I think people need to open up their eyes and see what's going on there. But that's what's on my mind, Alan.
Thanks, Chip. Appreciate it.
When was the last time Gateway won a championship?
Cut that, please. That's Zach Brenner. He'll be on later. Maybe. He might. We'll see if he makes that cut.
I'm glad I said that, man. Don't cut that, Dave.
Too late. They don't even have the camera on right now. Smokin' Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Hey, thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
here you go.
You got to see Levine. Hey, you didn't mention Central. How's Central do? Sorry about that, Chief. That made my day. I like to start each and every show the same way by giving a shout out to my main man, Dan the Man. And if you like coffee, order a cup from Dan. You won't be disappointed. Best coffee in the world. Please take care of your bartenders and waitresses. Kelly and Brandy, wave to all your fans. And if you haven't done so yet, do yourself a favor, grab a menu. 2 weeks ago, I had the best meatball hoagie I ever had in my life, and it's because of the Chef Pete. Always want to thank the international master photographer who's in the house, Bill Boyce, and his beautiful model, Wonder Woman, Felicia Ann. Thanks for coming. I love my country. But we're never going to get out of debt if we keep giving bums like Tony Romo a $100 million contract. Tony Romo couldn't lead silent prayer. Listen. Tony Romo, Tony Romo sounds like a place where you go to get a real good steak. Before Romo, Dallas was known as America's team. They was known for Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Roger Staubach, Hall of Fame quarterback. Troy Aikman, Hall of Fame quarterback. Tony Romo, Hall of Shame quarterback. Dallas Cowboys up 23 points yesterday on the Green Bay Packers before Romo choked it away. Tony Romo's record in December and January is the worst in NFL history. This guy's only won one playoff game his entire career. And I tell you what, you know, Dallas Cowboys, before Tony Romo, was such a great team. The Dallas Cowboys now is a bunch of chokers. And not only does Romo choke in the fourth quarter, he makes poor decisions. And the worst decision he ever made was breaking up with Jessica Simpson. Where'd they do that at? How about them Cowboys? The Pittsburgh Steelers got 6 Super Bowl rings. Dallas got 5 Super Bowl rings. And as long as Tony Romo's their quarterback, America's team will never be as big as the Steeler Nation.
Is he done talking yet? That's just a cheap laugh. I have to get it each time. Normally we have a disclaimer, but he's talking about Dallas, so we'll just skip that. I want to talk about the Steelers and all the psychiatrists and psychologists that are out of work on Monday this week. Now, you might be able to figure it out, or maybe you can't. A lot of the Steeler fans, all year I've been suffering. As you know, I predicted 11-5. Did not know they'd have major injuries, and the standard is not the standard this year. I haven't heard it one time. And I also realize that they're rebuilding, because when you don't have the talent, as my esteemed colleague here, Smoking Jim Frazier's in the war room, he does put on the chalkboard that players are soft. And those marshmallows that he was telling me about are coming in and out like a rotating revolving door there. I just keep seeing it. At least they could block and tackle on the offensive line. Well, somehow they've cured this problem that they have with Haley, who I'm not a hater. He should have never been here. He's a golfer. He's not a pro football coach. No offense to our guest that'll be coming on, who's a champion.
Use that term loosely.
Wait till we get her on. We have a famous guest coming up here next. We'll see her in a minute or two. But part of it is, hey, I'm happy the Steelers won a game. I'm happy they got the breaks. I'm happy that Cincinnati suffered a couple breaks. And that's how football is, and that's how Steeler Nation is. It's a brutal sport, and we got the W. To me, that's all I worry about. Who cares about the draft pick or picks we might lose if we get 8-8? We were 8-8 last year, and look at the picks we had. I don't know. Are they starting anywhere? That's what's on my mind. We're going to go to our guests right now.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Missy Bertiotti. I was wondering if I could keep the volume up compared to these
You
guys.
don't have to. Actually, this volume is fine on normal TV.
Okay.
He's not normal, and we're not on TV yet. So this will be rebroadcast, just so you know. And we run it like a live show. So if you start swearing at us, it'll still be on the air.
Oh, great.
Okay? See how easy it is? It's not bad. You have nothing to worry about. I'm sure you've done a couple interviews here.
I usually like these. But if we get into football, I don't know too much about football.
Who wants to talk about football? What do you do for a living?
I do. I hit that little white ball.
You chase it? You chase it too. We had a conversation because a mutual friend of ours, Beth Caldwell, believe it or not, she told Missy to give me a call that maybe she would want to talk to me.
Yeah.
So that's why you're here.
I'm always up for talking golf.
Are you?
Yeah.
And I did talk a minimal amount about golf, didn't I?
Yes. On the phone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, why don't you tell people what you've done in the golf field?
Well, you know what? I feel like I talk about golf, but I talk about kids all the time. I mean,
Okay.
I teach now. I don't play pro anymore. I do a little bit on the senior tour.
No way.
There's
You
a
can't be
ladies-
on the senior tour.
There's a ladies senior tour. It's called the Legends Tour, and I played a few events in 13 and 14. But I have a 15-year-old son here in town. He's almost 15.
Okay.
So I'm kind of Miss Mommy, and I like traveling is traveling. And
Yeah.
I don't like to do that as much now with him. He's my only child, so I kind of,
Well, you got to spoil them a little bit.
oh, I love it. What am I going to do? In 3 years, I need a new job, so I'm starting
Well,
to teach
maybe
a
we'll
little
have a
more.
spot on the show, a little golfing segment.
All
We
right.
do a live studio show on Tuesday nights, and sometimes when one of us miss out, maybe you could come in and talk about that little white ball and how to hit it and how to chase it.
I can do that.
Okay, we'll hold that open for you.
Okay, great.
And I heard you won a championship once.
I did. You know what? I was in Boston. Let me think. That was I think it was like 1996.
A couple years ago.
A couple years ago. That was my first ever win on the LPGA. It took me, I think, 7 years. So I was.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I remember seeing and reading about you in the news, because even though I'm not a golf guy, I do read about sports.
Yeah.
And when you mentioned your name, it did sound familiar.
Yeah, it was nice. Boston is a really ethnic town. There are so many. I'm always the Italian golfer. I'm always the Italian golfer. And so I kind of played into it. I painted my clubs. I put some stickers on there.
Did you?
The red, white, and green Italian flag.
Right.
And it was a great Boston crowd. It was chaotic. And I won in a 5-hole playoff over Dottie Pepper. She's a big, she's a pretty big Hall of Famer. So It was a great memory. But I'll tell you, it seems like another lifetime ago now.
Well, now you're helping your 15-year-old son go to school and take care of himself and learn about life.
Oh, I love that. That's what I do now, Al. I teach this. I wrote a book last year, and I teach this program.
Hold it.
called,
What's the name of the book? We love promoting books.
Oh,
Why didn't you bring it?
About that? What am I doing?
Does it have pictures in it?
Yeah, we have some inside jokes that aren't inside, but once you're on our show, you'll know about them. He writes a book almost every year, at least, because he's an NFL scout. He writes reports on players. He actually watched. He just plays this little routine. He does write a lot of reports. I've seen one, so I know he does. But yeah, tell us about your book. Enough about this.
Yeah. This book is called The Mental Mastery Program, so it's kind of neat. I mean, golf, totally different from football. Football is boom, 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 100 things happening all at once. Golf, you hit a shot, you wait 5 minutes. You hit a shot, you wait 10 minutes. So your mind can kind of go,
Right.
So
we have that happen up here.
Oh, everybody, every level, fear,
Right.
nervousness, trying too hard.
Well, how did you overcome it, or what are you teaching people?
You know what? I think 14 years of banging my head against the trees, crying, missing cuts,
Putts?
You learn,
You
missing
miss any
putts,
putts?
missing putts, missing cuts.
I'd like to read that book.
It's good. It's about fear. I think kids need it so badly.
How about big kids?
Oh, they're harder to teach.
We got a lot of cement up here.
The little guys and girls listen a little bit, and they're willing to say they have
Their minds are a little more open.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Where do you teach at?
I teach at Rolling Hills Country Club down in Peters Township in the summers, and in the winters I teach at Cool Springs right down the road
Right in my
here.
backyard.
That's what we were talking about.
Right in Bethel Park.
Still open?
Well, we were talking about that too. Tom
You
and I
can
were
mention-
talking about
I
that.
live not far from there, and somebody was telling me that it was closed.
They had a little fire.
I'm crossing my fingers. I'm so excited, but there's a new local owner. He's a graduate from Upper St. Clair High School. Bought it just a few months ago and has plans to bring in to sports complex, youth soccer, hockey, baseball, golf. It's going to be
They
fantastic.
need some more batting cages. I used
More
to take
batting-
my kids for batting and softball hitting there, and
There's
I
gonna be-
take a couple swings too. Sometimes successful.
Careful, those rotator cuffs. No, he's put in a hockey rink. There's gonna be a restaurant. It's gonna be a big deal.
Really?
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
So I think with all those
Maybe we
sports
can get
there-
him on the show, this mystery guest. We can help
Oh.
promote. We like promoting, especially, this is out of BPTV, our studios.
Good, he'll love it.
So we don't mind doing shameless promotions. You're talking to the right guy. Matter of fact, I don't know if you have our magazine.
I do. Look
Well,
at this beautiful.
There you go. It just come out. That's why we need those books. Where's that book at?
I'm gonna get it in the break. I'm gonna get it at the commercial. It's
Okay.
in my car. I can't believe I walked in without it.
Oh my goodness.
I like this. I like the title. It's easy to remember.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So how do they get a hold of you for lessons or anything else, or how do they buy your book, or anything here? Website?
I have a website, MissyBirdiotti.com.
Spell that, because we're challenged on
all
this
those
stuff.
Italian. MISSIE. And you can Google it. Birdiotti. Think of, I always say,
Birdie.
pronounce it like a birdie in the sky. You make a birdie of golf, but it's
Oh, no wonder you're a
B-E-R-T.
golfer.
See that? Yeah, but my
Birdiotti.
website has everything. You can buy the book there. You can download on an ebook.
No, he can't.
You can't do that.
No, he can't. He's challenged.
Well, if he can't read the book, he'll have to come in and do the program. We do it in a room, you know.
Oh, sounds good.
It's pretty good.
He's a good guy to have over there, definitely. He likes to learn things.
You play golf too?
Little putt-putt.
He's a champion. He hits it right through the windmill, whether it's underneath or through it. See the talent?
I'm in different packages. He's a big guy and he plays putt-putt.
Yeah. Well, nobody lifts as many 225-pound weights at one time.
I get them windmills.
See? He chases them. That's how good he is.
Like Don Quixote, huh?
Anything else you want to help promote here? Or when Cool Springs opens up, we'll have you back on.
That would be
And if you want to
great.
have the mystery owner, when he gives permission to come on, we'll have him on again.
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
for the first time with you, or
that would be
right
so
after
good.
that.
I think Bethel Park would be great. You know, be a great addition to the community. So I can't wait to have that many kids on property all at once. You know, we could teach. I mean, who doesn't? What sport doesn't? Choke, you know?
Yeah,
So
good point.
Nobody teaches that to our kids. I kind of feel like an old woman these days. Like I feel young, I feel good, but
Right.
what else am I gonna do? I have a kid. If I can help other kids, you know, that's what I feel like. I can't
Write more
play-
books. That's all. Write another
I
book.
gotta think of the second. I gotta figure this out.
Well, once you're on
I
the
got
show
it.
a second time, we'll come up with
Well, if
something.
you want to teach kids how to be champions,
Yeah.
I can bring some kids in from Gateway to talk to them for you.
You gotta teach them how to read though, because they're not big on academics over at Gateway.
We'll talk about this later on in the show. There's a little stuff going on. You're going to be gone.
I'm getting
I know.
the subtleties.
I know she has to leave. We're not giving you the bum rush, but I appreciate all the information.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure. One more time, tell them your name, website, and everything else.
Thanks. My name's Missy Bertiotti, MISSIE, and I'm at Cool Springs Golf Center, and my book is called The Mental Mastery Program. It's for your kids, any sport. It's really good.
Thank you again. You take care. It was a pleasure.
Hi, my name is Lucy Ferries. I'm a makeup artist from Pittsburgh with a specialty in making my own mineral cosmetics and alcohol-free scents and lotions
Great.
with unique scents like peanut butter and jelly, things you don't find in stores.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yes.
Well, peanut butter is one of my favorites.
Before you go any further, she is the first. Not only is she beautiful, but she's the first person I ever met in my life from Steel Valley that can put a complete sentence together. Give her a big hand. Yay, Lucy!
Lucy, I got to interrupt. We have to have a disclaimer here. We seem to have some controversy about Gateway and Steel Valley. So as a rebuttal on public access TV, these are his own opinions, and little Zach Brenner, when it's Z time, will rebut all of that and more. I guarantee it. Sorry, Lucy, that was a little
That's
unpaid for
okay.
commercial. Just to give you some time to tell me about peanut butter and jelly. How do you even make that you can put on that essence?
I basically buy the scent and then buy a separate
So you have
product.
big vats of it, and then you pour it in little bottles?
Something like that, yes. And I usually let my children pick out the next.
How many
scent.
children do you have?
I have 5 at home.
You give them each a flavor to play
No,
with.
if they really like something, like one child really likes peanut butter and jelly. That's his favorite food. So I made him peanut butter and jelly, lotion, and soap.
Wow.
Because he really
Soap
likes
also,
peanut
that'd be
butter and jelly.
great.
Amazing.
He's not eating any of that soap, is he?
No, but he eats less peanut butter and jelly now. I can talk him into real food now.
Because he's wearing it all.
Right, he smells it all the time. He's tired of it now.
You know what? She's also a psychological threat here, too. Definitely. Look
5
at
kids
those
will do
kids.
that to you.
Yeah, I can understand that. How long have you been doing this?
I've been a makeup artist for about 13 years, but I've been making cosmetics for about 2.
What'd you start when you were 6?
I wish I started when I was 6. I started in high school.
Okay.
I'm a little older than 6 now.
No way. I'm not a good guesser there, but thank you.
I'm legal.
Well, if you're with Smoking Jim, I know you're legal, just so you know that. Yeah, but he believes whatever a woman tells him. I know that for a fact, because I've heard some whoppers. Now, this is about you. So how do they get a hold of you?
You can either check out my Facebook page, which is under Makeup Fairies with a YZ at the end.
You better tell them again, because I'm slow and I know some of them are slower.
To find my page on Facebook, it's Facebook.com/The Makeup Fairies, THAMAKEUPFAIRIEZ.
Thanks for spelling that
You're
out.
welcome.
Is there a phone number to call you at?
No, but you can also check out my online store. It's makeupfairies.storeenvy.com, and you can order all of our products
Really?
through there. You can also get custom products if I don't have the exact
Say
eyeshadow.
I want something as a gift for somebody. I could just tell you this is what I would like, and you can make it.
Yes, or you could say, I would like to spend this amount of money. Can you make a gift basket for my girlfriend or wife, and I'll hook her up.
Well, I want a little peanut butter and jelly lotion. Where can I get some?
I will hook you up. They come pocket size too. It's perfect.
You'll be eating those. They're not going to last.
You don't have to carry peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Exactly.
He's going on a diet, thanks to you, Lucy. We've been trying. Now we found his kryptonite.
Now you know.
We got to order that.
Food he likes, I can make it
On
in
this
a
dumb
cent.
phone, I can't go on Facebook. Hey, get your phone out, start ordering peanut butter and jelly. Help her out now. Come on. You can't just drive her around the
fellas, I
city.
also do pheromone scents.
No way.
Yes.
You better explain that to him.
Oh,
What
he
a
looks like he
pheromone.
knows what a pheromone
He
scent
doesn't
is.
have a clue.
Pheromones are meant
He
to
graduated
attract the
Cal
opposite
U.
sex.
Cal U he graduated.
General studies.
See, you better tell him again. I was interrupting you.
My pheromone scents are meant to help attract the opposite sex.
See, I told you didn't know. Down, boy, down.
So you can also get them custom, like if you want to be sexy peanut butter and jelly. I could put pheromones in your peanut butter and jelly.
Put them in.
This is a
Put 'em
family.
in.
Let's talk about the kids' peanut butter and jelly soap and lotion.
And leave the pheromones.
Yeah, leave the pheromones alone, Smoking Jim. I think he's doing fine like he is. Don't mix that with them. Get him a scent, keep them away, or something like that.
I'm gonna name one that just
Yeah.
for him.
Do you?
I'm gonna figure out what it smells like, and then I'm gonna name one called "Keep Him Away."
Don't give him any musk. No, I appreciate you coming on the show. Anything else you want to promote besides peanut butter and jelly? What's your most favorite scent that you could think of?
It's called Bad Girls Brownie. It smells like chocolate brownie with hints of exotic cannabis. We're on a family show, so we're not going to talk about
Okay, but that's your part. What's your next? What's your next?
Is this perfume that'll give you the munchies?
We're going to talk about that off air.
Yeah, you can have a discussion. Go to her Facebook online store, all that other stuff.
Yes,
Or see her personally after the show.
We're also putting on our first makeup fashion show, May 24th, downtown the Strip in the Click Vodka building.
Nice.
It's going to be the launch of my summer cosmetics, as well as a runway show of my special effects makeup arts.
Great.
Like sort of like a thriller video, but live. I don't know how else to explain it to you guys.
That's a pretty good explanation.
That's about all the fancy horror makeup that I ever wanted to do. I'm going to do it all at once.
Great. That's
It's gonna be pretty cool.
You
I
have to
hope you
come
guys
back before the show so you can promote that.
Definitely will.
And then are you going to promote it on Facebook and
Yes,
Eventbrite and all the other things?
Yep.
Okay.
There will also be a
Because we'll look
Kickstarter
forward to that.
campaign.
Oh, you're doing a Kickstarter crowdfunding.
Yes.
That's one of the things I talk to people about. So,
Oh, well, I'll have
yeah,
to speak with you
we
about
may
that,
have
'cause
to
I'm new
discuss
to it.
that.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been a pleasure, Lucy.
It was
You
nice
take
to meet
care.
you, gentlemen.
Tell everybody who you are.
Well, if you don't know who I am in Pittsburgh, as one wise man once said who works for the Penguins, shame on you for 6 weeks. If not, I'll just say it anyway. I am Robert Hester of Robert Hester Entertainment, Robert Hester Photography, and Fashion RHP, and all those, and everything fun that has Robert Hester's name, or RHE's name, or RH's name.
You covered all bases here.
Literally.
What's
Till I
been
get into
going
the
on
country.
lately? We haven't seen you in a few months, I would think, the last time we had you on.
Well, the last time I was here was 5 months and 50 warm degrees ago.
Did you say 50?
I want to say exactly 50
You know what
because
that is, Smoking Jim? That's Fahrenheit.
Boy, we have a lot of hecklers tonight.
I know, right?
Ah, okay. No, I'm glad to have you back. What
great to
events
be
are you
back.
covering in the future here? Anything else coming up that we should know about?
Well, in particularly right now is my little honors for the year that's about to come to a close, 2013. I have my 50 MVPs, or top 50 MVPs, most valuable people, and guess what?
What?
You happen to be one of my 50 MVPs.
I wanna
Same with
see it.
you, and
All
same
right.
with you on my pages.
All right, thank you.
Actually,
What about Little Z? You might have to get him
Little
in
Z
there.
as well.
Oh, come on.
The whole show, Pittsburgh Sportsline, is one of my 50 most
MVPs.
valuable people for 2013.
Are you serious? Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very
And you
much.
can vote on my Facebook page at facebook.com/Robert Hester Entertainment, as well as twitter.com/Hestertainment, all one word, Hestertainment, and use the hashtag. What's the hashtag? RHP's top 50 people of the. I forgot the exact hashtag, but just go to Hestertainment. For further details.
Hestertainment. Vote for us, Pittsburgh Sportsline. We need a win.
And the way you can vote is
How do we win?
Well, on Facebook, you can look at a picture and it says the name of who I chose as one of my 50. There's actually 54. There's 4 wild cards, if you will.
No way. We
Nicola-
like all competition. We're going to win.
Sure.
I want you guys to win as well. Actually, on Facebook, the Pen scored. 50 correction,
okay.
they didn't score, but anyway.
Toronto did. It's now tied 1-1. This will be broadcast sometime tomorrow or the next day, but that's all right.
Anyway, just go to my Facebook page, and it's under the album top 50 MVPs for 2013 and wild cards, and just look on a picture you like. If you really like it, click like, and that'll get 1 vote. However, if there's a comment, it gets 2 votes. And on Twitter, twitter.com/Hestertainment, I forgot the hashtag, stupid me.
That's all right.
But if the person that you would like, well, look at the pictures page, and the pictures and videos portion of my Twitter page, and whatever photo gets a retweet or a favorite, that's 1 vote. A comment or a reply, that gets 2 votes. So
1 + 1 = 2, Smoking
1
Jim.
plus-
We're going to start
it's
tweeting,
3
baby.
votes. Actually, it's 4 votes overall.
I never liked math.
Well, you just heard it here. 1
like
+ 1 = 2, and 2 + 2 is 4. And that's how we win it. We're in it to win it. Just so you know,
I'm not
anything
gonna-
Pittsburgh Sports Line's in, we try to win it, buddy. So
And I'm not
thank
going
you.
to tell who the other nominees are. Just go to my Facebook page.
We're not liking
Go
that.
to my Twitter page. It's all about these nominees right here at this point, because
We
you guys
appreciate
truly
it.
deserve the honor of being my MVP for 2013.
Thank you.
Most valuable people.
Robert, that was
you very
great.
much.
Quite an honor. Thank you. You surprised me. Well, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry
Happy
Christmas
New
to you,
Year.
and have a blessed 2014. To you, Talking Machine. To you, Smoking Jim.
And in 2014, work on your brother handshake.
Oh yes. that's going to be my New Year's resolution.
All right, guys, lots of sports in the area. We just saw the Penguins get tied up. What's on your mind here, guys?
Well, to be honest with you, what's on my mind is, you're looking at all the different sporting events that have happened around the area, and what's got me a little concerned is, are our sports becoming too soft, or are they trying to, judge what's happening in the sports? You look at what's happening in the last couple of hockey games. You've got one of the Penguins that got a 10-game suspension, and other guys going up for suspension. He's going to New York for a hearing, Derek England. And then you watch the Steeler game last night, and Terrence Garvin knock the snot out of the Bengals money. And he's going to get, and I'm sure he's going to get a bigger fine than he made in pay for that
Even
game.
cracked the guy's vertebrae.
Cracked his neck.
Really?
He broke his jaw, and you know, the rules in football state that a kicker is always considered a what do they call that?
Unprotected, or
like an unprotected player or something like that. So you can't even really hit them.
Defenseless. He's defenseless.
Yeah, defenseless.
Except not when there's a play and he's running forward.
So what are you supposed to do if he's a defenseless player and you're not allowed to block him or tackle him? Then why is he on the field? Maybe you should just have to punt the ball and run off the field.
I agree.
Or whatever. I think what they're doing is they're making the game, you know, taking the physicality out of these games, and that's part of sports. I mean, you know, bigger, faster, stronger athletes, people are going to get hurt, but I just don't think the way they're going about it is the right way to get this stuff out of the game.
That's a good point, Chip. Smoking Jim, what do you got in halftime?
What's on my mind is Lucy. Give her another big hand. I tell you what, one of the best guests we ever had. I learned a lot today. And
Hold on,
what's on my mind?
What's that? The track women? What does she have to give you?
I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out, brother.
All right. That's it for the halftime show. I'll bring up boxing when Little Z comes up, and he doesn't want to talk about Gateway, so we'll talk boxing later.
Wait for tomorrow.
Hey, you're not up yet. Have a seat. Introduce yourself. If I mispronounce your name,
No, absolutely okay, Alan, and I thank you for having me on here. My name is Marky Bilson. I've been a part of the sports scene around in Pittsburgh for a while, perhaps on the periphery of it, but
same as us.
Yeah.
Same as us. We're on that. Periphery.
Have been a writer for the Post-Gazette. Have a book out called Pennsylvania Sports.
Where's the book
Trivia.
at?
The book actually is because I'm not here to promote the book, so I don't have it with me. I'm here actually to promote the Texas Winter League, which is what I've been doing recently. I've actually been taking my talents to other parts of the country.
Nice, all the way to Texas.
Yes.
How many miles away is this West Texas League?
It's about 20. Well, it's San Antonio, so you can.
The Alamo. Remember the Alamo.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm here actually, Alan, is to promote and give some awareness of the Texas Winter League, which is a showcase league for aspiring baseball talent that perhaps a player who has been picked over in the draft but would still like to play professional baseball. Right. I like to call it a second chance league, if you will.
Great choice.
Yes, and it is a league that, of course, is open to everyone. And I'd like to sort of tell people in my hometown of Pittsburgh this, because traditionally Pennsylvania, I don't know if you're aware of this, but historically Pennsylvania has put more players into the major leagues than any other state except California.
I didn't know that.
So so
he should know it because you guys have a mutual friend.
Yes.
It's his brother from another mother. I mean, one of the other guys, Claudio Rosano, is friends with Marky Bilson.
Oh, man,
Claudio, the club baseball coach at Carnegie Mellon.
Yes, and frequent guest here.
And Claudio has been nice enough. I've met with him actually about the Winter League, and hopefully players, you know, from Carnegie Mellon in the future might be playing down there. But that's sort of what I'm here to do, is sort of to try to get awareness and say, you know, are you a baseball player? Or do you still have aspirations to play professionally? If so, I would like you to check out my league, basically. I'm a recruiter for the league, the Texas Winter League, which can be found online.
And it can be found on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. I posted it earlier. I did get a link from you, Marky. Didn't get to read it all. When does the season start? That was one of my key questions.
It will begin in February, so we're looking about 6 weeks from now. And what you're looking at here is, let's say you're an aspiring baseball talent. We did have 2 players from Pittsburgh last year, from Point Park.
Mention their names.
Dave Engel, who wound up using the Texas Winter League to play for the Rio Grande Valley White Wings. You'll recognize the name Engel. He was, in fact, Kurt Engels, the famous wrestler's nephew. And also Sean Gahn, who may actually be coming down here from Baldwin, but also of Point Park. And both those players, Sean actually wound up going from the Winter League, getting a tryout with an independent team in Texas, similar to the Washington Wild Things, but it was actually the Edinburgh Roadrunners of the United League, if you want to look at it.
Okay.
But a team of that. He wound up playing actually in what is known as the Pecos League, which is an independent league based in the New Mexico, Arizona, that sort of area.
Okay.
But again, here was a player, and Point Park or Carnegie Mellon is a good example of this. These players, say 20 years ago or so, after your career was done there, that was pretty much it. Now we have showcase leagues such as the Texas Winter League, where after your college career, if you still have the desire, or maybe you felt like, you know, I played at a smaller school, I played at a Point Park, at a Waynesburg, someplace like that.
How about Cal U?
Cal U, exactly.
Okay.
And I didn't get the attention of the scouts that I would have if I was at D1, but I, you know, played it for whatever reason at a smaller school. Now there's a chance to go and showcase your skills, and it's not a tryout camp. That's the other wonderful thing about it. So many times.
How's this work then?
Okay, you play a month's worth of games. There are 3 major league organizations right now. I'm trying to get more, but right now we have commitments from the Phillies, the Diamondbacks, and the Orioles to send major league scouts there. In fact, one of the teams that we put the teams, let's say the players, into teams, generally about 15, 20 players, playing 7-inning games at the San Antonio Missions Ballpark. San Antonio is a Class AA team.
Okay.
And I'm trying to remember their affiliation. It's not coming to mind. But for years,
that's all right. You're on TV.
Yeah, for years, San Antonio was a Dodgers affiliate. They're not anymore, but for years they were. Anyway, but the point here is that so you get to go to a high-class professional baseball facility, play, showcase your skills for the month of February. After the season is over, after February, you are drafted, assuming you're good enough, but most of our players are. In fact, last year in the Winter League, 2/3 of the players went on to play professional baseball.
Now, how many players are in this league then?
Last year there were about 60, and you'd come and go with some. Now, yes, some of the players, we had a couple of guys there who were a little bit older and maybe just playing there for fantasy camp or even to make contacts.
Now, do they get paid to do this?
Actually, it's a pay-to-play league. This is how we
well, that's
go
why
about.
I'm trying to dig down here. I didn't hear anything about that.
I would like to tell you that.
So you pay to play, sort of like our women's football teams and other things around here.
But yes, but the fruit of this is that, for instance, let's say you're a baseball player and maybe you've gone away this time of year to Florida for a baseball camp and paid there. So similar to this, only this time this is a legitimate avenue to a professional contract. And as I said, a lot of these guys, it was basically, you know, I want to play. And this is how many of the independent leagues find their players. It's simply a matter of applying for a job, if you will, in this case a player.
It's showcasing them in a professional arena.
Yes. And I
with
would,
scouts that are watching.
And I would also like to point out that it's not just independent leagues. Our star product last year actually signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks. His name was Henry Garcia. Now, he wasn't a local product. He was from Brownsville. He was from Brownsville, Texas. But Henry Garcia wound up pitching for the Arizona Diamondbacks affiliate in South Bend, Indiana this year, had a 7-2 record, outstanding earned run average and control numbers, is now a very good pitching prospect in the Diamondbacks organization. The Diamondbacks historically have been known to scout independent baseball a little bit more than some other teams. But in other words, here was a guy who didn't have his chance because his college dropped baseball. That's one of the reasons why he was able to come out here. And we were able to give him the career that and the opportunities that otherwise he wouldn't have. So, knowing the talent and really the sports culture, including baseball, in Pittsburgh, in wherever. I mean, if you're watching this and you want to make a phone call to your cousin Jim, who's an aspiring player in Wyoming, go right ahead. You know.
Well, this will be posted up all over, and plus it'll be on YouTube, so this will have a life. how do we get a hold of you or the league, or what should we do if we have people that are interested?
I would recommend this. Go to the TexasWinterLeague.com website, TexasWinterLeague.com.
Okay.
It will give you all the information that you need to know, the costs. I would ask that you mention that you saw this on Alan Levine's show here.
Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. I appreciate that.
I would also like to point out some of the instruction before I would go that you would get in this, because this is not just run-of-the-mill coaches. Among the players that you would be tutored by to come out would be, and I'm sure you guys will recognize these names, Gary Templeton.
Yeah. Yes.
Ozzie and Jose Canseco. Jose Canseco actually was our attendance draw. He actually played in about 4 games just to sort of go out there, have some of the guys come out so they could say, I struck out Jose Canseco or something. Oh, he was playing legitimately, mind you, but it was
so
an
he never
opportunity.
struck out. He didn't strike out then.
Actually, he was about 48 years old. Yeah, he did not.
Oh, really?
He had 150 in the Winter League, so that should tell you something about the talent that we did have.
Mike, that leads you to believe that he is playing PED free.
No, I heard he was still. I heard he was still juicing, so that's why I wondered.
The funny thing is that I'm aware of Jose Canseco's reputation. I mean, who isn't?
How could you?
But I would tell you this: that in the Winter League, and everyone who was surrounded by him was very impressed with his character. I would point that out. One other guy who is a notable, and I mean that you would know from the major leagues, would be Mike Marshall, the former Dodgers outfielder of the 1980s. He'll also be managing a team, and so this is some of the
How many teams then?
It depends on how many guys we get. Like I said,
last year as an example.
Last year we had 4 teams.
Okay.
And the other player that I would mention who'd be our pitching coach would be Les Lancaster, who is now in the Phillies organization. That's one of the reasons why the Phillies are now scouting this league.
Makes sense.
But again, the idea here is, we just had the baseball winter meetings in Orlando.
Right.
So if you are an aspiring player or you know someone, and in this sense also, many of the independent leagues, the Frontier League has an age limit of 27. We don't have this. We had a former College World Series participant, Justin Klipp, who was 28, wanted to play again, wound up playing in the high independent minors after a very fine Texas Winter League season.
Nice.
So, this is sort of the thing that we're at. Even if you've been out for a couple of years or something, or maybe you'd like to spend February in the warm weather of San Antonio, living out your dream of playing baseball.
Is that why you got a job announcing baseball in Texas?
Yeah, well,
you better explain that a little bit. Let's find out about you a little bit.
How that happened? Okay, I'll tell you how this happened.
I need a little story here.
In 1997, I was a broadcaster of the Johnson City Cardinals, which is in East Tennessee. I am from Pittsburgh, but my mom is a professor at East Tennessee State University. Okay. So this is sort of how this comes out. The next year, small minor league team, yes, with the Johnson City Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals, they drop radio. I'm out of a job. This is sort of how I decided I wanted to come back to Pittsburgh, did some local radio, wrote for the Post-Gazette for 5 years, the Wheeling Intelligencer for another, this sort of thing. I was at a circumstance, though, however, where I was something at a crossroads in my career, did what Stan Savran did to come here to Pittsburgh many years ago, responded to a want ad for a minor league baseball team. It was the Rio Grande Valley White Wings of the Independent United League. They're based just Harlingen, Texas, which is just by the Mexican border, for those of you who don't know. And essentially, they saw my credentials and said, when can you get here?
So I was actually hired and went right there.
It was although I was actually hired on an Amtrak train. I like to say this. I was coming back. Yes, I was coming from a sportscasters conference in Salisbury, North Carolina. Took the train. I was going to visit my grandmother in Florida to celebrate her birthday, and on my cell phone, got it. And so it's like, well, I guess I'm not going back to Pittsburgh. I guess I'm going to Texas now for the first time in my life. That sort of thing. And so for the last 2 years, years, I've been calling games in the United League. I've been doing professional. And through those contacts, that's also how I've been calling games in the Texas Winter and Summer Leagues, which are these showcase leagues. These games are all on the net. You go to TexasWinterLeague.com. You can hear the archived broadcasts that I do.
I've heard a couple
and so on.
over the past year when I followed some of your adventures there.
Oh, jeez,
I did hear you. That's why when you had called up, I had gave you an offer a while ago that you're welcome to come up whenever you have the time. So I appreciate you finally reconnecting here with us.
It really is my pleasure, and I did want to give promotion to the Texas Winter League. And he's giving me a signal right here.
No, he's giving me a signal.
He's giving me a signal. Well,
no, it's not for you.
I understand. I took broadcasting courses. I know what they are. I just didn't recognize the signal. That's all.
We have a different type of.
But no, I have been in the off season. I've been in the off season contacting college coaches. On my list to hit, by the way, would be Jim Toman from where? You don't know where Jim Toman from Liberty University is from, Jim? You're not aware of the man who helped Ray Tanner build the championship baseball program at the University of South Carolina as one of his top recruiters and helped Tanner become the athletic director of the Gamecocks?
No, I'm not even aware of it either.
From Gateway High School, and was a prospect, Jim Toman. That's on my list to get. And of course, for locals who would know, we're delving off from the topic. Jim Toman's brother is also.
You got a Gateway promo in, so you're welcome back. Just because of Smoking Jim, he gets a vote on the panel here. He'll vote you back on the island.
But I've been contacting a lot of local coaches. Would notice me. Claudio, obviously, one of them.
Right.
But that was one of the guys that I wanted to hit, cut it all, and just to complete the story. One of the things, you know, who Jim Toman's locally famous brother would be, of course.
No.
Boffo, the world's strongest clown.
No way.
Who played in the Pirates system right there.
You know what? You have to come back. We'll give you some more time if you're around.
We're really divulging here. We're really divulging.
I was trying to find out a few things. I didn't know there was truth serum in that water you were drinking.
Hey,
thanks, Marky. I appreciate it.
And just one last time, TexasWinterLeague.com. If you're a player, if you know a player, someone like there who would like the second chance to play pro ball, either in the independent or possibly affiliated minor leagues, this is your opportunity.
Well, we'll keep in touch with everybody. We'll post it. You take care. Have a safe trip back to the Alamo.
I'm glad to do it. Thank you, Jim.
Nice meeting you. Welcome to the show. It's Z time.
For those of you who missed Entrepreneurial Thursdays with Jessica Lee down in Little Ease, I'd like to clear the air briefly. Smoking Jim Frazier has accused me of using performance-enhancing drugs to be the best young businessman in the city, to be the Hall of Famer that I am at SIPS.
I don't even know what that means.
I deny these things, these allegations wholeheartedly. I have never taken anything other than natural substances to get to where I'm at today. And I can put a complete sentence together multiple times. Tune in tomorrow night. What's on my mind will be a complete sentence on just one thing that's on my mind.
No, that'll be a first time ever on the
show. And this I guarantee. So let's talk boxing.
That was a great event, just so you know there.
It
Not
was.
just because he was saying you were on performance enhancing.
I know.
Great event by all.
Every time I walk past Smoking Jim, he's like feeling my arms, and I always wondered why. Now I know why. He's trying to size me up for a Gateway Letterman jacket.
All right, can we at least go to Steel Valley right now?
I thought we were going to talk boxing Saturday night.
We are.
I was the only one in attendance.
I know. I have a bone to pick with the mayor. He texted me or something, or on Facebook, and he said it starts at 8. And I said, well, doesn't Rod fight at 6? He goes, the fights are at 8.
Well, that's the main Showtime card that started at 8 o'clock.
See, I knew that.
Rod's fight was on Showtime.
But I only want to see Rod's fight. You know?
And that fight started almost 6 o'clock on the dot sharp. And for those of you who have watched it, and it's on YouTube.
I did watch it.
The world can see it. You know, Rod Salka fought his best fight in 20 fights. He left it all out there. He clearly outclassed and outboxed Canelo Alvarez, his older brother. And the politics of boxing be that they may, they had a winner already, you know, planned before the fight even began. And that's just unfortunate for Rod. But everybody got to see that Rod didn't just fly out to Texas to lay down. He gave that man everything he had, and that kid was fighting like Clubber Lang. He was swinging to knock out Rod.
I heard you and others had messaged me and everything else, and I heard from other people too, and I put the first statement that Rod was robbed. And that was before I saw the whole fight. After I saw the 47-minute fight, I still say Rod was robbed. I watched the whole fight. Smoking Jim, I actually watched the whole fight.
Wow.
He outboxed him. He actually controlled the fight through most of it. He may have lost 2 rounds.
At the most, I had it 7-3, and that's just being, you know.
That was being kind of generous.
Correct.
But I watched it. I recommend you watch it.
I don't know how the winner had to be predetermined on that, because if you're just watching the fight, I saw about half the fight. Rod was hitting him at will. Moving, you know, ducking punches. He was doing.
Chip, he come on strong in the last couple rounds too.
Yeah.
Even the announcers said it. Everybody in the stands.
These announcers, though, here's what was so bizarre. When you listen to the fight and watch it, the announcers were there. Sometimes the way the judge thinks about a power punch, as opposed to a boxer.
For what was to
they
come
did it
about
every round.
Yeah, they were planting the seed for what was to come, so there should have come as no surprise once the announcement. But you know, I think, you know, once Rod that was taken care of, to watch Brawner get handled in the fashion that he got handled,
yeah.
You know, was almost even, you know, made the whole night, you know, come to be worth it, because I never seen somebody.
I'll bet the Brenner boys and company were hooting it up a little bit.
Yeah, I almost lost some money too. I'm glad nobody took my bets on Brawner too, because I really didn't think
he'd lose.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to lose in that fashion. That's for sure.
You should have talked to the gambler here. He may have taken you up on that. You know, he gambles a little bit.
He also writes books.
We're not talking books.
And I'm
How about we had 2 people on the show that have written books?
Yeah, but
Missy even come back and showed her book.
Well, that she may, but I want to see these books that Smoking Jim Frazier has written.
They're coming.
In the flesh.
Well, books aren't in the flesh.
Well, no, I want to see it in person. That means I want to hold it.
In your flesh.
I want to see the book.
Your flesh.
I want to see it in my hands.
Are you
actually here.
Are you like Doubting Thomas here?
Just the fact that Smoking Jim says the Guinness Book of World Records is already, I got it, and I'm believing my brother right here.
Well, listen, Chip, if you should know anything about a Gateway Gator, it's that believe nothing that they say and only that of what you see.
I don't need to see it.
I can't wait till tomorrow night. Hopefully this will be broadcast before tomorrow night, so it'll be a nice setup. You won't be deleted at all, just edited from that heckler. I never was heckled that much on the show. Of course, it wasn't for me. I was trying to deflect it from Smoking Jim.
Nobody's heckling you, buddy.
I know.
You're good.
I know. I understand. I understand.
It's all
That's
good
a son
fun.
I didn't ask for, but I'm stuck with. I appreciate it, Sonny.
Hey, one time you're gonna be in a pickle, and that's gonna come in handy. So
I'm looking for that pickle.
You were just honk.
1 minute. Hey, since you guys are getting silly, we'll save the silliness for tomorrow night. This is our last minute of the show here. We're going to wrap it up because for some reason we have a problem with overrunning through the credits. I'm not going to let that happen tonight. I'd rather Dave Cable put a commercial. Thanks, Chip Hayner. Thanks, Smoking Jim Frazier. Special thanks to the heckler, Little Z, Zach Brenner. Was not heckling me, and I understood that.
Listen, we all know the ratings go up, man, with me on the microphone. So whether I'm heckling in the stands or I'm sitting here, the ratings, those are Nielsen ratings too, Smoking Jim.
No, public access TV doesn't that. Those are his own private thoughts. Thanks, everybody, for watching the show. Special thanks for 2002 likes. We appreciate it. We're working our way to 3,000 now, so thanks for watching us on TV, Verizon 32, Comcast 7, and thanks for BP TV. This may be our last show of the year. We're not sure on Monday night. We may be back for one more, but we'll see you next week. Take care. All right, the fan said one more.
Merry Christmas, Bethel Park. I'm Dave Cable, the director of BPTV, and I'm here to read for you the holiday classic, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even, Oh, hey George.
I'm not George. I'm the ghost of Christmas present.
I don't know, you look an awful lot like my volunteer George.
Well, you are gravely mistaken. I am a ghost.
All right then, Mr. Ghost of Christmas Present. Why don't you come up here on the hot seat and explain to me why you had to come in here and interrupt my holiday special?
I would just like to wish everybody in Bethel Park a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year, and to remind you all to watch all the great holiday programming right here on BPTV.
You know, you didn't have to pretend to be a ghost to come in here and say that.
But I am a ghost.
So, do you think you could look a little more festive?
Sure.
You know, that's not too bad.
You should see some of my other tricks I got up my sleeve.
Wow, look at all this holiday program we have this year at BPTV. How am I going to find enough help to cover all of it? Oh, hey, Ghost of Christmas, George.
No, it's the Ghost of Christmas Present, Dave.
Either way, this is not a good time right now.
Why is that?
I have all these holiday programs to cover and I don't have nearly enough volunteers.
I can help.
What can you do? You're a disembodied spirit.
Remember that trick I showed you last year?
Yeah?
Watch this.
Ta-da! Wow, this could solve all of my volunteer problems. Why didn't you tell me you could do that?
You didn't ask.
Well, while I'm asking, how many of you can there be at one time?
As many as you need, Dave. As many as you need.
Maybe I'll just write Santa Claus a letter and ask him for help.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from everyone here at BPTV.
You know, guys, I really want to thank you for all the work you've done for me this year. You've really helped me catch up on all of my holiday programming.
Sure, no problem, Dave.
You know, if you're bored, you don't have to stay here. You could always go do something fun.
Oh, thanks. Hey, what's going to, Dave?
This should be interesting. Whoa. I know you guys are disembodied spirits, but it's a little cold for us people with bodies to be playing out here.
Oh, come on, Dave. You used to play in the snow when you were a kid, didn't you?
Well, at least let me go get a hat.
Gloves, too. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from all of us at BPTV.
So uncomfortable. Oh.
Hard to ride on that thing, huh?
It is hard.